Hello and welcome back to Trains and Mode O, where we are continuing on from where we did yesterday with PZB and LZB tutorials. It's up to well. Anyway, let's set up. We're on LZB to start with. But I will also, once again, actually, control RSB. I don't know if that'll work for internet or not, but I'll have to have another go. So we're starting with obviously from the start point, so we have in PZB Mode O. Now set this up, passenger lights on, lights reduced, I haven't turned anything on the wall yet. Some will start like that, some won't. I won't open the windows for this. And we'll keep the HUD on, unlike the one which I did this morning, which was another RE service to Aachen. RE1 service to Aachen, not this service. With the BR112, with delivery from the delivery designer. One partnered up because Talent Rising. Talent does not have LZB fitted. This does. As it proved with a very, very slow camera up here, LZB. And I would like to know why do we not have frame rate? Good God, this router has tanked it. .101 up here, arriving. It won't be long until we have LZB turned on for this bit. That's why I'm starting from Cone, and can't do it in Aachen. Down to the one reason that end does not have the cab ends. These ends are not actually fitted with LZB. I don't know if they are in real life or not, but they haven't been fitted with it in game yet. The loco does. As you can tell, you've got LZB there. And it's not on the HUD yet. So like yesterday, once again, bit of PZB tutorial with us. Based on monitoring as we can go. We're limited to, well, we can go up to 60. But we can't go over 60 yet, and there's no point going up to 160 because that's actually not real true. We are curious it's that which we drove, not that livery. Small, HUDless as well. We'll be doing this every so often. With a keyboard though. The window's wide open. So yeah, and for this I've actually temporarily reinstalled Unit Augsburg to do the tutorial with. By the looks of it, I could use those as a tutorial as well. They don't have LZB fitted yet. Hopefully at some point they will. So they still, not all gate trains are fitted with LZB, is the main thing you have to remember on that one. But as they slowly go through the list, they are. Like both 182s are. There are two versions of this, though, one that does and one that doesn't have it fitted currently. And that's due to on that they do. That's just going past now. But on this route, there's no LZB on that. That's why Munich Augsburg is also done. While we're going at this, it's not long. I will do regional service and an ICE service on PZB Mode O. Then do one for M and one for U. I don't know why I've written down as U. And then an S-Bahn one, which won't be definitely on this route. LZB's now on. So you can fling that all the way up to the maximum, which is 160 on this. I still won't fling that all the way up because it will slip like crazy. Not this close to our line, but hypothetically you will. So now the train is in control of the speed limit of increase and decrease. of it. You don't have to press anything for it to do anything. All you do is just fling that forward, and you can fling this forward. But like for currently, I'm not going to bother. But for one certain point you've got to remember is it will not stop you at stations. So you still have to brake for that. But for speed limits and signals, LZB fitted with RFB will slow you down for that. And the ICE going in the opposite direction is a good example for that. Since there is a talent parked in front of you. These sound so quiet by the window. So, just to put that there, see it's not slowing down until I did that. At least this will have a better brake than the BR14, the 112. Even though I'm flinging it into max brake. And now over braking. I'm honest, I've drove this route before. Yeah, we've got a different delivery if you didn't know this. Here comes 182, which I will hit. So that is actually default to PZB Mode O. So, I'm going to cut it here, and then we're going to go once that 187's gone by. Then I will cut it to just before home, just down here, where we will then move on, so you can see it will reduce the speed limit. So I will get myself ready to depart for that. Then I will see you when we get to that point. One thing I've just thought about is that it goes up to 160 from what we are currently at 140. So you can see the LZB does control that. As we depart from Conan Infield. I'm gonna put your names because. Yeah. So once this is done, that I'll show you that one. Do the thing that she said. There you go. It's down to 160 now, without me pressing the buttons for it. It won't go up anymore since this is maxed out at 160. These are maxed out at 160 as well. Where does it stay on it? 160. Let me try and not die from the cough my lungs up. I'm gonna put it up there. I said strange place, I didn't know James parked up there as well. We'll see you. Yeah, there you go, still holding. There you go, just point out the truth that it doesn't go up to any more than 160 on this. As you can tell by there. Even though the bug on there has gone over 200. Once again, see you at home. Well, we're just under 5 kilometres from home. I'm still not touching any of the controls apart from C for every so often. We're also flat out with full throttle. Of course, RFB is still where it is. No brakes are currently in use. You can see on the HUD, I think it's a bug, the reason why I didn't show up here. But you can see the counters now going down. Because that is showing us the next signal, speed limit wise. It should show it there, what the limit is. But for some strange reason, it doesn't want to do it yet. But now as you see, the G lamp is now lit on the HUD. Once again, I think this is a bug on there. Don't need to acknowledge anything. And there you go. It's now come into it with a slight delayed reaction. If it starts flashing, I will do it. But this is a slight problem with the game, I think. Bring the air into that because it's not braking hard enough. I'm just helping it out because it's not for some strange reason doing what it should be doing. The 101 has this problem sometimes as well. Unless it's just down to the console itself. The console version of the game. Because I shouldn't need to use the air brake on that. The aid was slowing it down. But now I will, because we are stopping obviously. Just watch it once it hits 80, it won't move anymore. It's a shame none of those delivery isn't showing up, which I've subscribed to. So I think the reason that is a bug, it doesn't go down, even though it's gone down below 80 on the HUD. It says it's 80 there, but just to point out, you can't go into restricted monitoring on LZB. Boom. Once I get after Durham, which is the next stop, I won't be continuing this service. So me attempting to get 500 is pointless. Once again, those carriage lights haven't even turned on. Not missing anything now, am I? Nope. 39 power on, yeah, yeah, automatic, yeah. Okay, that's strange. Oh well, they can be in darkness. So that's fine, it's not due to depart. No. Off we go again. Literally, like I said, I think I'll probably end up wheel slipping if I went straight into full power. Might do, might not. But if you're on rain or snow, you will. So it's not always the best idea to full power. Seriously, these have got clouds. So as we depart from home, we've got 20T. What do I hit freight for? The freight coming to go to Durham, where we will be ending. Up goes from 80. There goes also. So it will exit LZB. Then I will move on to the ICE, which I'll probably do in the opposite direction for this. Most of this will be on Snuff, Ashfracker, Karnak, and apart from S-Bar. Thinking of it because everything's since this has got a lot more LZB use with regard to training wise. Because that Snuff, Ashfracker, Karnak does have that. Even if you don't have any other add-ons, just to point it out, or even the expansion pack, which is what the timetable I'm using is currently as well. So you wouldn't get this service, but you'd get the ICE and the Talent too. With the ICE going the opposite direction, you will get a Talent 2 in front of you, which will make you have to slow down before Conanfield down there. And if you do have other packs in this expansion pack as well, even you don't have to have the expansion pack, going that way you can get stopped at what's the station called? I'm never going to remember it. Rovend. That stop there, you can get a freight train parked up in it. Because for some strange reason, freight trains end there. So, I will see you in a couple kilometres closer to the Durham, where we go over LZB end. So, with 5 kilometres to Durham, I have no idea what LZB's currently on to doing with me at the moment, because it's actually slowly dropping me down. But for no reason, I'm going to have to learn that, because it's actually counting me down to the 200 kilometres at the moment, which we don't need to worry about. I'm back again. Well, I don't know what I'm saying because it was only literally a second really. But that's why I'm pressing the keyboard. So yeah, pass the footage. Yeah. I suppose put us back up to 160 again. One thing I've got to remember is I've got to remember to stop and do them. Because it's quite easy just to not remember. Shut up, Sifa. While I'm speaking. It's probably easy to forget to stop. But let alone it's done it again. I'm thinking there's a bug. But it's like the 52 at the moment. I don't know how I'm here so early. I suppose it's not VR. I suppose it's not British Rail. So, we've still got our LZB account, so I won't turn it off like I have done in the past. Because I do want to see if turning our B off without getting out the seat will work. It's called nice control stop. There we go. I'm going to have a quick gander at that carriage, those carriages, and see if I can't get out like the lights to turn on. Nope. That'll turn them off. Close lights, yeah. Don't know what you want to. Right there, eh? That's strange. Don't really want to start a scenario. That should work, but for some strange reason it's not. That must be a bug on the duplex carriages themselves. That's like the PSI doesn't work on them. Apart from the end carriage, I think. Apart from the driving car at the end, yeah. Let's check if that was a delivery coming in. Nope. I want to close doors now. Do I actually get 500 for that now? I'd be a bit depressed if I didn't. Right. So man, he just decided to jump us straight back up to 160 on our, how was it, before that, on our RFB again. This has got twitches all over. Don't think it should be like that in real life. But yeah. So as we depart from the that is loud. There we go. I like it. As we leave the S-Bahn behind, so it's only regional, fast and ICE. And now one along here. So just for you, this doesn't. Oh, it does actually work. We can get it through the seat on this, the wall on this one. They're slowly going through trains and doing that, which is handy. Because I don't have to press it. Just go. So we're still on the LZB account. But it is coming to an end by this point. That's the proof of it. You press the N key on the keyboard, or it's Shift and right on here, which will do that, which is that on there. But at the same time, shut off power. LZB off. And now we're manually controlling the train back up to the full max speed. You have the line again, which is 90 kilometers an hour. We're still technically controlled by LZB by this point, but the RFB cannot control our speed now. So we should, in theory, not get an emergency brake. In theory, because I know some trains will do it, like the 182 can still do it. Oh, RFB's now back. RFB, I mean LZB. So I'm going to stop the power, find the area, and yeah, whack that off. Whack that off. Give it a couple seconds. Shorten up. Yeah, I think this is a bug. So yeah, it should turn back on again, but it doesn't. So I'm gonna do that. So from until Langwin, you're gonna have to do that, and freight make it hard. So you'd have to control the speed manually. Apart from the 187 has it built. The RFB is actually built into the train itself as well, along with the 143 and the 112. Apart from there, with the throttle, that 187 is still a separate control. As you can tell, I'm now speeding. Come on, thank you. So yeah. So I will jump into an ICE on this route, go in the opposite direction to this, because it's going to be more fun. So yeah, I will see you in that one. Enjoy. We're in an ICE at Parkin as I set the train up to depart to Cone, the Frankfurt service, LZB, PZB, and if anyone knows what they start, it's please tell me. Right, depending on close the circuit breaker, double 5 to turn on the passenger lights, UI. Come on, enter. Now I'm going to Frankfurt to set the PSI up on the train. And then finally RFB is 9, and then 6. And then normal buttons to control RFB. Now I'm keeping that up because I don't really need the other screen. So to start with, as you can tell, this is what how those trains. There is no wire in the middle of the track. One thing I could do is turn the LED lights on. So yeah, there's a noisy 187 parked up. I can actually go into this part here. So if I go to there, that lever there is the RFB as it's come up. Combined brake there, throttle and low. Throttle, train brake, low bit brake, and four. Which I didn't know I could do without being in the cab. Okay. Calculus how to do the opaque. Handbraker's release. Doorstep should be released. Parking brake. There you go. Window. Now they can't. See. I have to admit I don't drive like that. I drive it without that on. With it on. Like that, so I can see. Just to point this out, if you do that and do that, then do that, on the other one it will flung up in the air. Apparently the way to get with the marks is to drive like that, not looking at what you need to look at. So we've got a clear aspect on the signal, so I will skip it as we get closer to the door. I know when we go through Langway. When we hit a very long straight section of track when it goes up to 160. So literally, like last time, that there is a pain. It never goes away. These are randomly parked up all the time. At the moment, I can't actually see the PZB stuff, so that's always fun for them. Flipping sun's coming through a window somewhere. That's better. But yeah, we're cleared. Go up to more when it actually allows us to. So I'll see between Langwin. No, if I do that between Langwin and Durham, and I will then go for the LZB turn back on again, and for the ICE. Both ICEs in the game for this route and the Munich Oldsburg will do the same. So yeah, I will go and skip until that point. Enjoy. And there's one of those freight trains I was saying about parked up, which can cause red lights before the station. So yeah, that will cause a red light on the PZB if you are curious. And also this yard's only filled up if you have the expansion pack coming up on the left is the freight, and there's the yard on the right. And if that's quick delivery into it. I know I was gonna say I was gonna skip until dirt or Langway dirt. It's too much. Any random liveries appear spawned. Doesn't look like it at the moment. No. Doesn't look like it has. Oh well, that's a shame. I might actually do a flyby at some point and see if that ends up in the final build, I don't know. Enjoy. I mentioned yesterday was speed magnets, or at least showed you them. Along here, that there, going now. Go on, IC, get out the way. This here is a speed magnet, just to point it out. So it's a straightforward 500 Hz magnet. So it will instantly run the man's brakes on if you're not doing a certain deduction over it at all. So yeah, that's what that is. As we now are flying through Langen, wherever it is. No, it's wise, Langen. We haven't got that far from LZB now. We're gonna get there pretty quick. It's around here, around this sort of area. That LZB turns back on again. If you are curious, I had a look. You know that station you have to go fly through, which no trains stop at infield before you go in the opposite direction. Obviously, get to Aachen-Mogen. Trains do stop there, and it's on our regional express service, which is our RE20 stop there, which actually does a massive loop will come up to you from here, around here, all the way to Durham here, and then go that way again. At Langway or Durham, up here, it will go around on itself again. So I think it was back there. It goes at Langway, it goes back around on itself. Died there. I look on Google Maps. It's a shame those services haven't been added, unless it's run by diesel. I think which are probably the case by it. Which there was only the shunters, which are diesel shunters at the moment, or German. One thing about the tanker posts, they get in the way. Anyway. You'll know when we get close enough, because it starts showing up on the HUD 200 kilometers an hour. 220 kilometers an hour. This thing is maxed out at 330 kilometers an hour. Even though it says 350 there, it's not really. So if I'll wait until our LZB turns on, so we're getting close and close. past the football stadium. So soon all I have to worry about is pressing Q, pretty much, or circle for CIFA. So the 200 is now on the HUD. This won't tell me yet, the train doesn't know about it yet. Is the best way to set LZB signs. On comes LZB, like I did last time. I press hard this time because I can't bother doing the other buttons. Straight up to 330. As I'm already in full power, I won't move that. As we get closer to 200, you might actually see the wire. But we are going quite fast, but there's the wire in the middle of the truck there. And I'm curious what this bridge is called. It's a nice bridge. So, as we come up to Durham, it won't take long for the speed to also go up. For LZB to come into active. There's no point in me even trying to chase the camera down now at this point because it won't catch up to it. There are services which there are services which does the full route in those, by the way, so it will get a small section of LZB, but that's an all stop, so I'm not going to bother. I'll be there for course. So there you go, up the full power and moving. I'm going to sit in and let the ICE pass me. Good. But anyway, if I follow the route all the way up and around on the line now, so don't get where the blue line. Keep going and keep going and keep going and keep going. There it is. That's what stops us and slows us down along the route. So yeah. Ooh. Now it's that close to the train. To start with them. Once we hit to go up, this will be the speed will be going up, down, up, down, up, down now. From that point, it will automatically control the speed as we get closer to that train because it's only doing 160 kilometers an hour. So yeah, even though they have a switch in the back for LZB in the back bar area where PZB and CIFA are, it doesn't actually have it in real life. Yeah, due to. So that is now technically counting down to a red de facto at the moment, even though it's plus 999 kilometers away, 9.9 kilometers away. That's what that is, by the way. That's what it's on the HUD as well, 99. So it's 9.9 kilometers away. So even this, you can see it. It should really say here speed limits and stuff. But that's a thing with the game itself. So I'll get closer to Cone Enfield when we will start going up, down speed limits. Around Holland sort of area. I'm probably going to end up doing this full service, but I will see you when we get closer to that point. It's interesting. It's now obviously happening. I'll come back. So you see the G lamps indicated. I'm not touching any of the controls, as you can tell. The throttle's still there. It's going to do this now for quite some time until we get closer to Cone Enfield. And that's down to the faction that we are now following another service. So don't think you're going doing something wrong. It's down to it following another service. And we're getting closer to it. So if you're doing that, say for an example, this route's quite easy to do, isn't it? Where you can just do that and watch it go down as we pass another town. So yeah, AI drives so much different than that. they're saying that freight trains are actually still going at full line speed, even though they're under limitations of what would be under limitations of PZB in real life. But there you go. And just pointing out that will not drop your points before. So yeah, there you go. Back up to full power again. Back up to full power because it's gone back up to 250 kilometers now. So that will now keep going and keep going as we get closer to the new cone and build it up. Freight train. Where is it? Where is it? Somewhere. Can't find it. Right. But it's now slowing me right down because it's getting closer. This will not match you at that speed, by the way. That's why it's going to go up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down type of thing. And this is one thing that does not happen on Munich Goldsberg, because freight go on the regional lines after so long, which are separate to the ICE services, and they will get VIP access through everything. So, like the services which are run by the train which is currently not that one, but the one that's parked up, the other versions of those, so not the S-Bahn version of them, but the services which do the regional services. So the one that's probably in front of that one there. So yeah, I'll try and find it out when I see them. But it's actually now completely dropped us right down as we get closer to the other service. And I don't know how the AI reacts, so it will be a lot more different than this. But as you can see now, we've gone right down to 160 even. In true fact, if anything was fast on that line, it would now overtake us. So yeah, I'm still not touched any of the controls apart from Steva. It is now it's bringing us right down. Now it's gone back up again. As it gets further away, the block's cleared. There you go, back down it goes again. So we are now, like I said, factually following another service. And this does happen in real life, I believe, which is a surprise really, since I would expect this to get VIP access on this route. But then I suppose it's only four lines here, but 2 lines only, so there's no way that I can get past each other at any point really, unless you tell it to wait at home for quite a while, which wouldn't be that much of a good idea, because then it would probably be quicker to get the S-Bahn services. So still haven't touched controls. There you go. On the HUD now it shows red for the next signal. That's the distance signal. So it's doing the brake curve. Down to stop. This is how our RFB and LZB should work, by the way. Shut up. Some trains are gooder than others. I believe that might be realistic as well. Livery designer coming up. Showing them the S-Bahn, I've picked it again. At the moment anyway. Especially when they go off the map. But yeah, still not touching any of the controls. So say if that now all of a sudden turned green, it would probably will slip like crazy. To say this, because I think the ICEs actually are low on their feet. So there you go, it's now cleared, so it's now put us back up again. But not to, it's only gone up to what, 80 kilometres? Around 100 kilometres, so I'm going to say 80 because it's the easiest to say for that. Because by the time we hit that, it would be about 80 anyway. And now that's just going to keep happening now. as we now are following that service here, as the service that was in front of it has now cleared off. And I'm still not touched any of the controls apart from CIFA, and I've pressed the server button, which does press its marking button as well on a PlayStation controller. This is how you would approach a red light with LZB and RFB, by the way. If you didn't have RFB enabled, you'd have to control the brake down like you would to any red light, but at the same time keeping an eye on that G with LZB on. So I'm going to do something to prove to you about this when that clears anyway. I'm not going to move the throttle from max for this, just to prove to people that you can actually see the wire clear, yep. And just to prove LZB's not on those two. It is on this, not on these two. Okay, we're now not moving, so if I do that, then do that, there we go, off we go. Do that. And just to say, to get out of RFB is the exact same on this as it is to any other train. Apart from this one does work to turn out RFB off and then turn it back on again. You'd have to go in, obviously you can keep it like that. Press that one, which will turn it off. And then press that again to turn it back on once LZB's gone and PZB's back up again. And end is the standard button for end, and it's that on there, which has got an end with an E on the end of it. For some unknown reason. It's probably how the Germans say end. That's probably why. So yeah. I'm going to move on to the next route, the next service. Like I said, now that's now going to be faster than nerves. So yeah. I will get that going and see in the next service, which I might actually quickly show the cab ends of the Talent and the cab car, just to prove that they don't have LZB fitted and working. Enjoy. Just to prove the Talent doesn't have a working LZB. Right, we've got PZB begin and CIFA, and you've got to see here, you've got LZB here. See, it doesn't work. I'm on it, you can't turn it on. I'm just going to keep it on this menu without actually quitting this. And actually, I'm going to change this route this time to Unicode. So I feel like doing a different route. I'm not filling any routes, which I probably should do. Do the duplex. Just put my pride level, because why not? Do. We'll admit these are good screenshots by people. So if I go back here, you've got CIFA up there. You've got the headlights there. Battery and that there. If I crouch down, you can actually see the fuse is a lot more easier. Yeah, these don't even have, this doesn't even say LZB, but it has like PZB there. I sit down, it shows it there, but it doesn't have anywhere, like it doesn't have RFB either. So unless it will at some point have a RFB, but there's no LZB, I mean, there's nowhere for it to be turned on unless it's down here. One of these down here. Do donk. Might go to it. No, but down there. Anyway, so it might be down there. So yeah. So I will go to the next bit after this, which I will start doing freight modes. So see that we're on on the S-Bahn on Munich Augsburg, and I've picked a livery that's actually from the livery designer. So, times and stuff I'm not too worried about. I'm only standing to this here. So LZB, PZB, and that doesn't work. That PZB does work on that. Now, if I remember how to set this joint up, straight on to. I didn't want to have both. Block that side. Into forward. I can go right up, so you get that. Headlights can go on the high beam. Passenger lights can go on. And yeah. PSI as well with it. S3 command off. So one does both of them. I know my controls getting low. S3. Except that. Right, we're fully set up. And unlike, say, if you go from the other way, come from land off, you won't have LZB the straight off. So once again, there's the one. Even though this route does have PZB here as well. So we have got a clean signal. Close the doors. I'm not too worried about times. So, unlike normally, when you start off with, you'll go into restricted monitoring. But under LZB, if you start on map, you will not. As you can tell, our PZB doesn't light up at all. It should not even have those two modes on it. It should only have the 85 lamp. I'm going to have a sneezing fit in a minute. Oh, crikey. So yeah. So like I said, LZB has got S-Bahn. It is actually slightly different. Because LZB on S-Bahn services, especially on this route, say, is actually to do with keeping them closer and more frequent. Even though on the game they're not. These boats are terrible. But those markers which we're passing, when we stop, I'll show you. Once again, I'm not too worried. Seafa's still here for you to have fun with. Bacon. So, this here is a signal, which proves on the HUD as well. It will help out with slowing you down. Kind of. Shouldn't be glasses, but hey, huh? So it keeps them closer, and it comes on at Munich Augsburg, Munich passing. Yeah, Munich passing is when the LZB turns on. How many stops is that? 3 stops. Because I might be able to do that. As all these stops are very close together. Technically this is a metro route, so you would floor it. And this doesn't have RFB, by the way. So in truth, you don't really need the HUD for this at the moment. But obviously for this I'm keeping it on. There it goes, up to 100. I do wonder if AI will show up. Oh, a couple of trains parked up at Munich. These train roads are terrible. They go past the signal HUD. come into Munich. Yeah, I'm not going to try and pronounce that. I'm going to butcher that like crazy. So yeah, even though it does have LZB, PZB magnets, but that's only because it has to have that just in case the LZB on the trains don't work, I believe. Or if unfit trains without LZB run on this route. But that's because obviously it still needs it. I'm still trying to work out, see if... Oh, there's something chasing me. There's a train chasing me already. And there's one coming out. Can't see any coming in yet. I believe in real life there is a lot more services than this in use. And that's only down to the faction of it being probably will break any computer that will have any more services, and at the same time last gen consoles will break anyway, because that would be quite low on it will be already. By pride livery. But yeah, it's up on this if you want to download 1144 146 I mean. So like you don't have to merge anything. No, you wouldn't have to merge just 90. I believe you would have to. Shut up, Zika. But I do like it. It tells you before you enter, and it tells you before you and after you exit as well. Theory Munich passes in the next one, which it is. And that's a S-Bahn. Yeah, it is. For some strange reason, the S-Bahn uses both of these lines going in that direction, but not this. Because this is an S-Bahn platform. You can see how close the signals are there. Press the right button, please. Wait for the doors to shut. And away we go. Just don't full power when it's raining or snowing. Otherwise you will get road slip like crazy. I'm gonna have to edit all this here, I'm thinking. As well, that's not very fun. Hopefully I can get this all together. So, as it's 90, we won't go any quicker than that now. And it's now on, so we've now technically acknowledged and the rest of it release. So we've acknowledged that we're going to lose our ZB. This hill's quite a sharp hill. It's a sharp, steep hill. So if you've got Munich Oldsberg on this on consoles, you won't get the region. But you will get on this, if you've got TSW or TS, you will have this route. Or you've got a route that goes off that way, which is Munich to no. Oh, I can't remember the route's called. No, we're still under LZB, but it's going back up. But going quickly back down again. Off comes LZB. Right, we're now running under PZB. So all PZB rules are back in use again. So yeah, you probably may have to acknowledge that sometimes. When it's half LZB, sometimes check you might need to acknowledge magnets. The first magnet you come across that is putting you down to something else. Even if I was on time, people would want, if they wanted that, they would have missed it. So there you go. There's LZB mode on passenger, freight, and S-Bahn. So yeah, I will probably end up doing all the others like British AWS, DSD, DVD, and TVM on the British signalling. The American stuff, ATC, Access, and the Alerter, and the French systems and TVM on that, and do the Swiss as well. But Swiss will only be on one route at the moment. So once again, I hope you like this episode, like this tutorial, and I hope you keep on driving and learning other things as well as you go. And goodbye.